Last week, former series champion Josh Kramer played the ultimate spoiler by winning Moto 1 at Unadilla. But Chad Wienen bounced back to win Moto 2, his 5th overall win of the season. Now just 2 races separate him from a title. The motocross fans know it as RedBud. One of the most famous motocross tracks in all of these United States is host to round 9 of the AMA Pro ATV Motocross Championship coverage here on the NBC Sports Network. Jason Wygant, your host. We're just north of South Bend, Indiana, the home of Notre Dame. But this is holy land for motocrossers as well, especially the Michigan Mafia. And this ATV rider, Harold Goodman, is a member of that set. The Michigan native here signing some autographs. He's on the event t-shirt today. They're hoping that the Bumblebee can maybe run up front and get on the podium this afternoon. What a beautiful racetrack he'll have to do it on. Nothing is quite like RedBud. It's got huge jumps and perfect soil, and of course, great weather as well. We get a bit of a surprise in our ranks, as well as traditional favorites. There you see the Pan Am boys getting their machines together. The 88 of Joel Hetrick. They're going through tech inspection. Of course, John Natale is here. He is the defending series champ. And yes, his wife, Michelle, races ATVs as well. So, of course, the kids got to get on and do some riding. Josh Upperman is here. He is always a threat. And, of course, there's the 44 machine of Chad Wienen leading the standings. But the big buzz, another race for Josh Kramer.
Really excited to be here this weekend, doing another race here with everybody. We had a little hiatus, kind of a break from New England Series, and, we're here. Hopefully looking to do something big this weekend and, at least, if nothing else, get on the podium like we did at Unadilla, but hopefully another good weekend.
Good to see Kramer here on the number 9. He gets to run the single digit because he's a former champion of this series. Thomas Brown, another rider to watch, the Texas native on the Yamaha, had a podium a couple of weeks ago in Pennsylvania, looking to duplicate that today. Time is running out in the championship standings. Natale has to try to take some points away from Wienen today if he wants any shot going into the series finale next week at Loretta Lynn Ranch. There is Wienen, though. He has proven very cool under pressure this year. There's the young gun, Joel Hetrick, has himself some victories on the tour, 3rd in the points. Not going to win the title this year, but he certainly can play the spoiler role, as will Kramer and the rest. Let's go racing. SSI Decals Whole Shot Award on the line, and it's going to go to Natale, doing what he has to do, putting that Motorworks Pan Am out front. And I believe that is not the Yamaha of Wienen behind him, it's the Yamaha of Thomas Brown as they head down the famous RedBud ski jump, and they're going to work their way through the trees. It's almost like 2 tracks in one. And look at Brown going after Natale, going to dance down to the inside. Now they got a big tabletop. I don't know if Brown can clear it from the inside. He does, but he still was not able to make the pass on Natale as they head back uphill. There's basically, the way this track is laid out, that's almost like a spine in the center of it, and you have valleys on either side. This side, pretty technical. You see you're working your way through the trees, a lot of off-camber turns. You see how difficult it is to get these machines through there. Now, this side of the track, a little bit more wide open. It's got these sand whoops and some of the biggest jumps you'll see in all of ATV Motocross. And look at Brown. He is hungry today, going after Natale. 3rd is Upperman, and then Kramer and Hetrick going at it for 4th and 5th, which puts Wienen back in the number 6 position. So a prime opportunity for Natale to make up some ground here in this series. But there's Wienen at the back of that group. You know he's going to work hard to get around, and Thomas Brown has taken the lead from Natale. On fire today. And you never know what you're going to get from Brown. As mentioned, back at High Point in Pennsylvania early in the year, finished 2-3 in the motos and showed the stuff to run with anyone. He's had some races where he has the speed, other races where he does not. Clearly today he is on. And Natale now having to deal with pressure from the Honda of Upperman, who's in 3rd. And Natale doesn't want to deal with it. He wants to go back around Brown into the lead. Into the sand whoops we go. What a battle, the best of the business in ATV Pro Motocross. All at the sharp end of the pack. You've got Brown airing it out. I told you we have big jumps on this track. And there is the Yamaha of Wienen. He has made the move on Hetrick, and he's working his way to the inside, trying to get around Creamer. That's LaRocco's leap. They just went over there. And here is Brown continuing the lead. I think Natale is just going to settle in here. He tried to make the sprint early. Brown proved game for that challenge. As you see, Wienen has gotten around Creamer. Now Natale has some lines picked out. Now he's going to try to go back after Brown. That's the same line Brown tried on lap 1, and Natale makes it work here to take the lead back. And they crossed up in midair. I'm impressed that Brown has been able to clear that table from every different line on the track, and he's not done yet. He wants to take the lead back from Natale. Stay with us. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am and by AMSOIL. Welcome back. It's the RedBud National, round 9 of the 2012 AMA Pro ATV Motocross Championship. John Natale continuing to lead the way, and we have a battle on our hands for second. 2 Yamaha riders duking it out as Natale, your defending series champ, tries to get away. Here are the Yamahas. It's Brown, Thomas Brown, in front of Chad Wienen. Now, Brown led this thing early, and Wienen started about 6th. Wienen has done a phenomenal job working his way past Josh Upperman, Josh Creamer, and Joel Hetrick to get to this number 3 spot, and his reward for that, facefuls of roost coming off the rear tires of Thomas Brown's YFZ 450. And I'll tell you what, there's certain spots in this track where you can use different lines, but there are certain spots where you have to file in, so Wienen's just going to have to eat all that dirt. Meanwhile, look at the white helmet and white jersey of Natale. He has not had an ounce of dirt dropped on him since he got the lead back from Brown a couple of laps ago. He has had an easy go of it. Great battle still here between Upperman and Hetrick for a piece of the top 5. Here the fans cheering Natale, the Pennsylvania native, but he has respect everywhere he goes. Multi-time series champ, and they call him the Iron Man because he is one of the toughest guys in this sport. You can't help but say good things about him. Here is Wienen still working on Brown. He makes a mistake on that off-camber. And off-camber when the track is leaning away like it is for Natale in this corner. So now, Wienen is back in the clutches of this battle. It's Upperman and actually Creamer. I thought it was Hetrick. It's Creamer on the Can-Am. They have pulled Hetrick right now, and they want to move forward. They have another shot at going after Wienen, your series points leader, and they are highly motivated for that position because top 3 means you get to go on the podium, you get to thank the sponsors. For a guy like Creamer, who is trying to find a ride to re-enter this series full-time, well, that could prove pivotal. He's got to show that he's got the stuff to run up front and pass these riders. He did get that first Moto win last week at Unadilla. That meant a lot. Trying to back it up today. Looks like Wienen has caught back up to Brown over the big tabletop. Then Upperman and Creamer behind the 2 Yamaha riders. How about Natale? There's just no quit in the guy. A lot of riders, the way the season has gone, Wienen with a lot of momentum early, pulled off a couple of clutch wins. I think that's actually just motivated Natale more, where some riders, that might have sapped their confidence. I don't think that the mental game is as big a factor for Natale as some others. He always races you as hard as he knows how, and he comes to every race thinking he can win, and that's always the first step towards success. This is the corner where Wienen made the mistake earlier in the race trying to get around Brown. No problems this time. In fact, he's still right there, and I think they might have touched. Coming out of that left-hander, now into the right. Just nowhere for Wienen to go. And yes, they both ride Yamahas, but there's no doubt in this sport, it's every man for himself. And as far as the point standings really go, with 3 motos left of the year, even after this one, there's no way that Brown is going to be pulling over to let Wienen collect a few extra points. Natale, meanwhile, beginning to close in on it. 2 laps to go. And you can't say Natale hasn't done this legitimately. Halfway through this one, he laid down a 2:13.7 lap time. That's the fastest lap of anyone in this moto. In fact, no one else has been in the 2:13s at all. Wienen was the fastest in practice with a 2:10, which gave him the ATVRiders.com Fast Qualifier Award, and it looks like he has now made the pass on Brown, and just in the nick of time, there's Wienen, there's Brown, and they've got company again. from Upperman and Creamer. What a fantastic duel for the number 2 spot down the stretch. Natale doesn't want to know anything about that. He has run his own race today, and it's going to pay off. Looks like he's going to get this first moto win, but it can go any direction here for second. Look at Brown trying to move back up on Weenan over the big table. Staying a little bit lower. Closing in. Upperman with a look over his shoulder. Spotting Creamer. Now heading to the big Larocco's leap. They air that out, but the order stays the same. Natale now headed toward the white flag. 1 lap to go. There was the potential that he could make up a lot of points on Weenan in this moto, the way Weenan started it, but what a comeback for the man from Illinois. And here we are, last couple of corners, and it looks like Weenan will minimize the damage, and more importantly, with the 2-moto format, he finished second in Moto 1 and first in Moto 2. You still win the overall for the day. So Weenan has put himself in position to maybe end up the best rider of the afternoon, even though there's no doubt in this moto with a big lead. John Natale is the man of the moment in ATV Motocross. He wins Moto 1. And ripping across the line, the rest of these guys still duking it out. Weenan will take second. Brown, Upperman, and Creamer rounding out the top 5. Great racing from RedBud, and we'll be back with more right after this. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am and by Amsoil. We are in the pits here mid-motos here at RedBud. Motoworks Can-Am team trying to clean their machines up. The riders are already cleaned up and they're signing autographs. We'll be ready for moto number 2 here in just a moment. Jason Wygant, your host on Racer TV. What a run by Thomas Brown for 3rd in that first moto, just edging out Josh Upperman, who was 4th. There's Natale, your first moto winner on the left. And now the teams begin to transition to race mode again. They are prepping the starting line area. Riders will get a sight lap to see how the track has changed. We have amateur races that are intertwined with weekend schedules, so this track will be totally different than it was in the first race. We are ready to go racing here in moto number 2. Let's see if Natale can follow up his first moto success with another one here in Moto 2. Yeah, finally we see the number 20 of Upperman grabbing one of his trademark hole shots. Oh, and a rider is down early. I think that is Natale, your first moto winner, is in dead last. And you are going to see an uncaged animal now, as Natale is going to have to go to work on minimizing the damage and the points from last place. Upperman in the lead. You could see a little bit of water down in sections of the track as they performed a lot of maintenance. Like I said, a lot of riders raced on this track, then they shaped it back up, and everyone just trying to get a feel for the traction, or lack thereof, early in this one. Man, good to see Upperman with another good start. That has been the trademark of him and that team, as the Yamaha boys are going at it again. Brown and Weenan, and Brown, I'll tell you what, it's ask no quarter, give no quarter between the Yamaha boys today, holding Weenan at bay. But Upperman had been a hole shot master the last couple of years. The last couple of races, however, has not been the same, so he's finally back to his old tricks. Brown, Weenan, Creamer going to try to chase him down. John Natale, by the way, after that first turn crash, first moto winner is 11th at the end of lap 1. We'll see how far up in the order he can go. These guys are setting a blistering pace early. How about Upperman? SSI Decals Hole Shot Award tucked away, and he has left these riders in his dust, or really mud, should I say, early in this one. A lead of over 2 seconds already, with Brown and Weenan battling behind him. Then you have Creamer, Hetrick, and right there, shout out to Jeff Rastrelli on the Suzuki. Rastrelli is a rookie, and good to see him getting an opportunity to see the pace of the fastest veteran riders in the game. And he's staying right with them right now. A great battle shaping up. But it's all behind this man, the number 20 of Josh Upperman, who is 4th in the series standings. Upperman has a couple of third-place finishes in motos this year. No seconds and no firsts. So this could be his first, but there's a long way to go. Lead is up to 4 seconds, though. He is absolutely flying. Look at that. A couple of the riders after the first moto, though, were saying this track is so rough, the sandy-type soil, you see how whooped out it gets in spots, that you have to leave a little something on the table early. You've got to be patient. And you can see Wienen and Creamer have hooked up in a battle for second and third. They've both gotten by Brown, who's back to fourth, and then it's Hetrick. We'll see if Wienen and Creamer, flying in formation, can make a run at Upperman. Wienen has proven very strong this year. He's made a lot of passes. Heck, right down to the last lap, the last turn almost at times. So he is going to run the pace all the way to the end. Can Upperman keep this type of riding up? And I believe Wienen is starting to close the gap. And maybe also shedding the number 9 of Creamer just a bit as they head back topside. Leaping uphill, Loracco's leap. Now through another set of whoops. And through the finish line. Josh Upperman trying to hang on for his first moto win of the year. Stay with us. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am and by Amsoil. Josh Upperman continues to lead here at RedBud in Michigan, but the heat is on. Here comes Chad Wienen in the number 2 spot. Wienen has pulled away from this battle. Thomas Brown and Joel Hetrick going at it for third. Third place was the property of Josh Creamer. He made a mistake. He's gone back to 5th, and here comes Wienen down the inside. He wants to lead from Upperman, a little bit of contact. Let's see how aggressive Upperman can be down the inside of this big sweeper. Wienen takes the long way around, but makes the pass stick. And look at that, wheeling out of the corner. What a drive he got. He knows you can demoralize the guy if you get around him and then get away the next couple of corners. You are seeing a full sprint from Wienen right now. Again, on this track, we mentioned it earlier, you cannot run the full pace the entire way. You've got to pick your spots, and what a great job Wienen has done with that. Survived the battle with Creamer for second, closed in on Upperman, and then put a blitz together. When he saw an opening, he grabbed that number 1 spot. And the rest of these boys are left to battle for podium spots. Oh, it takes so much energy to muscle probably 400-pound ATV through that whoop section. Now we're headed back uphill. That's Loracco's leap. They're going to double up. A blind jump. You cannot see the landing when you're here in the valley at the bottom. That's where Brown is, and now Brown clears it. He's got Hetrick right behind him. And look at the airtime from Creamer. He is rejuvenated, trying to find a way around. Looks like Hetrick was able to put his Can-Am through and get to third. So now Brown has to deal with Creamer in a battle for fourth. And look at Creamer. There is no room to pass on the outside, but he tried it anyway, just letting Brown know he's there. There you see Hetrick leading them through that whoop section. He did get into third. Whoa, rough ride for the kid over the back of the machine, able to hang on. And even put a little distance between himself and this battle. And somehow John Natale has climbed up to the number 6 position from dead last. Not going to be enough to hang on to win the overall. Not going to be enough to take any points away in the afternoon from Wienen, who looks to have a moto win in hand, but an Ironman effort nonetheless, and that's why they call him the Ironman. And this battle is still going between Brown and Creamer. They are going to fight all the way to the checkered flag. Great racing all afternoon here at RedBud, and it's not over yet. Creamer wants this number 4 position, and Brown has it, and he's riding the widest Yamaha he can come up with to try to hold him off. Back through the whoop section, look at this. Upperman has pulled back up to the rear wheels of Wienen. Only about 3 turns left in this moto. I don't know if he can make the pass, but certainly a confidence boost to know he was right there on one of the roughest tracks of the year. Rest of the boys go by. It looks like Brown might be able to weather the storm. How about Upperman right down to the checkered flag? He's going to try it around the outside. He runs out of time. Chad Wienen takes the moto win, and that should be enough to give him the overall. He's These guys were all charging through the finish. Hetrick a harder in third. Fourth is going to go to Brown right there. Kramer fifth, Natali just outside the top 5 in 6th after the crash. Let's go talk to our winner, Chad Wienen.
First moto, rode really good, and I got caught with Thomas, and we had a really good battle up until the end. Second to last lap, I got around him, and ended up second the first moto, and next moto came out. I came out third, and just came out hot and made my moves quick, and got by Thomas real quick, and then got by Josh, and just set my highs forward and just went for it, and ended up getting the overall this weekend and extended our points lead, and we're going into the last round, and we're going to be pushing as hard as we can just to get more wins, and it's like the first race all over again, and we're going to give it everything we got.
Here's your Can-Am race recap. Moto 1, John Natali grabs the whole shot. Great battle between he and Thomas Brown. Look at that line from Natali. He grabbed the lead from there and would not be headed. Then Brown had his hands full with Chad Wienen. They pushed each other all over the track. Wienen even made a big mistake. He recovered to get second. Natali takes the win, but then in Moto 2 goes down in the first turn, opening the door for Josh Upperman. He put down some blistering laps, but Wienen, a very calculated ride, was able to reel him in and then take the lead. The rest of the field battled it out hard behind him, but Wienen would go on to his 6th win of the year. One race to go for a championship. Thanks for watching Racer TV.